Hi, this is Austin Ash doing his documentary on Mars.
Mars, along with the rest of our solar system, formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The leading theory of how it formed, known as core accretion, is that the solar system began as a large, lumpy cloud of cold gas and dust called the solar nebula. The nebula collapsed because of its own gravity and flattened into a spinning disk when matter was drawn to the center of the disk, which formed the Sun. Instability clumps of dust and gas are bound together early in the life of the solar system. Over time, these clumps slowly compact into a giant planet, which then formed Mars. Mars is just like Earth in the fact that it has a lot of rich history to it. The planet got its name due to its red color and is also referred to as the Red Planet. In addition, it is also named after the Greek god of war, Mars. The first spacecraft to visit Mars was Mariner 4 in 1965. Several others followed, including Mars 2, which was the first spacecraft to land on Mars, and the two Viking landers in 1976. Ending a long 20-year drought, the Mars Pathfinder landed successfully on Mars on July 4, 1997. Mars's orbit is significantly elliptical. As a result of this, the temperature is about 30 degrees Celsius. This has a major influence on the climate of the red planet. Like Earth, Mars has a very unique climate and atmosphere. The weather on Mars is very significant because the atmosphere and its greater distance from the Sun mean that Mars is much colder than Earth. However, it can vary from negative minus 125 degrees Celsius near the poles during the winter to as much as a comfortable 20 degrees Celsius at midday towards the equator. In addition, the atmosphere of Mars is also roughly 100 times thinner than Earth's, but it is still thick enough to support weather, clouds, and winds all throughout the surface. Dust storms are frequent on the red planet. Giant dust storms routinely kick up the oxidized iron dust that covers the surface. Dust is also a permanent part of the atmosphere, with high amounts of it in the northern region in the fall and winter, and lower amounts of it in the spring and summer. The dust storms of Mars are the largest in the solar system. They are capable of blanketing the entire planet and lasting for months at a time. These usually take place during the spring or summer. Many people aren't aware of the fact that it actually snows on Mars sometimes. The snowflakes of Mars, made of carbon dioxide rather than water, are thought to be very small particles that create a fog effect rather than appearing as falling snow. The north and south polar regions of Mars are capped by ice, much of it made from carbon dioxide, not water, like here on Earth. Oceans may have covered the surface of Mars in the past, that provided an environment for life to develop. Although the red planet is a cold desert today, researchers suggest that the liquid water may be present underground, providing a potential refuge for any life that might be living underneath it. Several studies have shown that there is water ice beneath the surface. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It is also the second smallest planet in our solar system, which is slightly larger than Mercury. Mars is about 53% the size of Earth, but because Mars is a desert planet, it has the same amount of dry land as Earth. The gravity on Mars is 38% of that of Earth's, so a 100-pound person on Earth would weigh approximately 38 pounds on Mars. Unlike Earth, Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. They are both very small and irregular in their shape. They orbit quite close to the planet, and Phobos, the larger of the two, has the distinction of being the only natural satellite in the solar system that orbits its planet in less time than it takes the planet to rotate its own axis. Because of their small size, they were discovered only a little bit over a century ago. They're both very dark objects and are covered in craters. In addition, they're filled with many meters of fine dust. Mars is considered by many to be the next planet that we will explore. NASA has even said that they're on a journey to Mars, with a goal of sending humans to the red planet in the 2030s. The Martian was a popular movie that gave us insight about what it would be like to live on the dusty red planet. In conclusion, the biggest question on everybody's mind today about Mars is that does it harbor life? It is believed that Mars did once harbor life, in fact. Some life might still exist there today. A number of researchers have even speculated that life on Earth may have led to life on Mars. The Viking landers famously sought life on Mars during the late 1970s. However, they came up empty. Today, some of those results remain controversial, especially one in which a sample of soil was heated and then checked for organisms, even though they had found nothing.